Hello and welcome to the, I guess, second look at the Klonoa games, and this time we're moving to the Game Boy Advance for, dare I say it, Klonoa Empire of Dreams. Yes, and this game is interesting at least. It is supposedly set between Klonoa 1 and 2, though it does seemingly have the re-emergence of Huewpow, even though Noah had to go back to his world and whatnot. But yeah, so basically he awakens in his room to three strangers and they kidnap him. And why do I hear a hanya from him? And he awakens in front of this guy, who is Emperor Julius. Okay, the whole thing about the... Isn't he the Dream Traveler? Oh. Yeah, and apparently we also have, Bagu here. The story is that, Julius apparently suffers from insomnia. That is a thing here. Yeah, and yeah, apparently, dreaming is apparently nonsense here. Seriously. Where Huewpow comes in? Well, at least we don't have to spend out the game in a jail cell, unlike with Mario, or cleaning up our mess anyway. But anyway, the gameplay for Klonoa Empire of Dreams is very different from, well, not completely different, but a lot more puzzle-based, shall we say, compared to the main games. But let's have a look. And yeah, Huewpow is here without any explanation as to how he's here, despite the fact that well, he was the Prince of the Crest Kingdom, and does that mean Klonoa's lost his memories? Because we know how the two were torn apart at the end of the first game, Daughter Phantomile, but apparently Klonoa doesn't know. Klonoa knows he's a dream traveler and has the same clothing from Klonoa 2, yet for whatever reason, Huewpow is here as well. So yeah, I do like the fact that they actually have some character models in the, I guess, the cutscenes for this game. And this is the second time we've had to deal with a really strong guy blocking our way. Remember Baloo, made that 2? Made that 3 times. Yeah, although they're not as annoying as Baloo was, or maybe they are more annoying than Baloo. But they don't attack, they don't yell at me at least. Seriously. But, let's get to the gameplay then. Like the games on the, dare I say, the PS1 and PS2 and PS4, etc. Seemingly we can still pick up enemies and throw them and everything. We can't throw them to the side. Though we can use it to do the Wahoo jump, just like before. I don't know if we still have, let's see, it's, Klonoa's trademark Wahoo as he jumps, but I actually hope we do hear that, because that would have been amazing. Weirdly enough, when you drop an enemy, it creates a portal, and that means another enemy will emerge out of that portal, so yeah. So that can be random as well. It's weird seeing with the GBA graphics, but nothing too bad. So the goal of each of the levels is actually to find 3 items, 3 keys as it were, or 3 stars. So yeah, if there's any game I'd compare this to, it's probably something like Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, in terms of being that sort of game, puzzle-based. The only difference is that it's less Metroidvania, Klonoa can also apparently pick up boxes, which is a new mechanic and is necessary to get up various things. You can also kill moves and various other enemies with it. So yeah, which interesting addition, and probably one to negate some of the limitations, shall I say, of the GBA and everything. So yeah, always a good thing. Klonoa seems to move very fluidly here as well, seriously. Honestly, I would not mind this coming out on the Switch. I know this game was on the Wii U, on the now defunct eShop, but yeah, I wouldn't mind this game getting a re-release, especially with Fantasy Reverie series being now a thing and actually selling well, especially over here in the UK. Yeah, I wouldn't mind this game getting a re-release, at least on the Switch. I say the Switch because the Switch does now have a dedicated GBA Switch Online service, of course, even though it can only be accessed for those who actually are able to pay the £35 fee. I don't know how much that is in dollars, but I haven't looked yet. Another thing of note, we will also come across these weird-looking doors. So yeah, and they require their own sort of key. We might, again, another mechanic that's taken from the main console games, of course. Although they weren't necessarily coloured keys in Klonoa 1 and 2, but yeah. Also, because this is not based off a Fantasy Reverie series, I think the default mode is normal mode. So you only get 3 units of health, and I think you take full damage there, so there's only so many times you can get hanyered by this before you pretty much are done and everything. So yeah, the Dream Stones are also back. I'm guessing you can actually see on the lower screen that it actually shows the total number of stones you need to collect in order to get through the level. Yeah, that was a thing, of course. In each of the levels, to get 100% in both Klonoa 1 and 2, you had to get 150. So yeah. As for the boss fight, strangely enough, we'll get to that in a moment, because seemingly there are also board rides, something that, of course, was in Klonoa 2. So I might as well leave this in as well, because seriously, Klonoa on his board in this game actually seems to function a lot better here. I know how cumbersome it was in, say, the Julian Fun Park to control Klonoa and everything and get the jumps right, because I missed a load of moment doors in each of the stages where you needed to use the surfboard. In addition, I like the little jet stream. I don't even know what to call it really there. So yeah, but it does seem to function a lot better than in Klonoa 2. Mainly because of the fact that it's in 2D rather than 3D, in my opinion. But yeah, other than that, yeah, each of the levels is actually fairly short in this game, owing to the fact that it is a handheld game, understandably. But yeah, and apparently you can retry here. I don't know if that was a thing in, dare I say, in Fantasy Reverie. I don't think it was, because imagine having to go through that annoying second level in the Moon Kingdom in Klonoa 1. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to do that ever again, seriously. But never mind that. Let's see what bosses look like, or at least the first boss. The first boss here seems to be a giant guy with maces, seriously. So yeah, he will jump into the air, and what we have to do to damage him is actually throw the moves at him while he's on the ground. He does create a shockwave, but we already dealt with that with Learina and everything. So yeah, apparently his backside is his weakness, and seemingly that is enough to kill him there. But yeah, not too bad for a first boss. But yeah, that's the basic gameplay, at least, of Klonoa thing. And apparently, there's seem to be citizens of the who apparently were dreaming. Oh boy, you don't want to do that. Apparently was champion of the world. Red Mist. Okay, so was it more of a nightmare? Well, anyway, that'll be it for this episode. I don't know if I'll do any more of this or not, but that's the basic outline of thing. I might well cover some of the other bosses, though, if anything else comes up. But until then, I will see you later. Goodbye!